You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. And now for a look at news making international headlines this Tuesday, 18th January.
Yemeni forces backed by the United Arab Emirates have joined coalition troops fighting the Houthi movement around the central city of Marib in a renewed push to secure the prize of an energy-producing region. The battle for Marib, where the Iran-aligned Houthis had advanced on most districts barring the main city and nearby hydrocarbon sites, has dashed hopes for any imminent truce that the United Nations and the United States have struggled to engineer. UN Special Envoy for Yemen, Hans Gunberg, has told the Security Council on Wednesday that both sides are doubling down on military options and has warned of devastating implications for civilians and immediate peace prospects. The nearly 7-year-old conflict, largely seen as a proxy war between Saudi Arabia and Iran, has killed tens of thousands of people, displaced millions, and pushed Yemen to the verge of famine as the economy collapsed. Over the past month, fighting in Al-Jawb in the north, Marib in central Yemen, and Shabwa in the south has displaced more than 15,000 people, according to the United Nations. The conflict is a multifaceted one with several Yemeni factions vying for power. The UAE largely ended its military presence on the ground in 2019 amid a military stalemate, but continues to hold sway via Yemeni forces it armed and trained. The Houthis, who say they are fighting a corrupt system and foreign aggression, largely control the north, while the government is based in the south, where protests have erupted last year over the deteriorating economic situation.
An underwater volcano near Tonga has erupted for the third time in 4 days, potentially threatening the ability of surveillance's flight to assess the damages to Pacific Islands nation following Saturday's massive eruption and tsunami. Australia's meteorological services have said that a large eruption took place at Tonga Ha'apai volcano on Monday, but no tsunami warnings have been issued. Saturday's eruption was likely the biggest recorded anywhere in the planet in more than 30 years, according to experts. Dramatic images from space have captured the eruption in real time as a huge plume of ash, gases and steam was spilled up to 20 kilometres into the atmosphere. And tsunami waves were sent crashing across the Pacific. A footage shows people fleeing as waves inundated Tonga's capital, Nuku'alofa, and the afternoon sky has turned pitch black due to the heavy ash cloud. Tsunami waves were also recorded thousands of miles away along the United States west coast, in Peru, New Zealand and Japan. In Peru, at least 2 people died after being swept by high waves. No mass casualties have been reported, but aid organisations are concerned about contaminated air and access to clean water for people in Tonga's outlying islands. With communications down, Australia and New Zealand have sent flights to survey the damage.
An ambulance driver in Greece has been arrested after using his ambulance to conduct drug deals and transport bags full of drugs from the Greek border to the country's capital. The 41-year-old driver, who worked for a medical clinic in Athens, was arrested in the northwestern town of Igoumenitsa on Sunday. According to police, he was using the ambulance in his spare time without the knowledge of the private clinic to transfer large amounts of cannabis from the Greek-Albanian border to Athens in order to avoid detection. The curiosity of police in Igoumenitsa was sparked when they saw the ambulance driving through the town and then returning again an hour later. The Greek-Albanian border is some 20 kilometers from the town. A local police chief, Ioannis Papas, has said it was odd for an ambulance from a private Athens clinic to be driving around the town on a Saturday morning. And since ambulances have been used in the past to transport illegal migrants across the border, police decided to stop the vehicle for a check. When they opened the back of the ambulance, they found 13 duffel bags filled with 129 packages of raw cannabis, weighing more than 319 kilograms. When the driver was questioned about the contents of the bag, in an effort to avoid being caught, he insisted to police not to touch or open the bags as they contained hazardous biological material. He also had 900 euros and 3 mobile phones in his possession, as well as a small amount of cocaine. He was arrested for the possession, transport, and trafficking of drugs. The cannabis was transferred to a warehouse where it will be destroyed.